Welcome to
the Amherst Project.
Video news. Video news.
So let's just dive into it, man. What do you think the students at UMass, I'm not asking you about yourself yet, but what do you think most students on campus think about Jesus?
Well, I would say half of them believe that Jesus exists. The other half of the population don't.
I think most people think that he was a cool guy that preached good stuff about being nice to each other and helping each other and togetherness.
Probably guess the majority of them kind of just have an idea of who he was, but don't really know how to explain him or describe him.
I feel like most people see him as a historical figure, but not everyone views him as like their religion and their religious guide.
Too fictional to believe sometimes. A lot of the New Testament stories, I've heard at least, I mean, from a lot of people, Christian and not, are a little too fictional to believe that there was actually a Jesus, to believe that his word is the word.
I think most students think that he's like an important historical figure, but not necessarily as prominent as people may think of him religiously.
I think most students think Jesus was somebody that was the Son of God that was resurrected after his crucifixion.
Do you believe that?
I personally do not, though.
Well, then who do you think he was?
I think he was just a very influential person at the time that preached a lot of good morals, and he had a lot of followers.
I think that Jesus was God because God sent his son to earth to save people's life because man sinned and fell short of the glory of God. So then he went to so then Jesus came to earth and he died on the cross to take the place of humans' sins.
Yeah, I think he was an actual person. I mean, I don't know, or well, I guess I personally don't think that he was Son of God, miracle worker, whatever. But yeah, I think he was a dude who existed.
I think that Jesus existed. I don't think that Jesus was the Son of God. I think that he was. I don't know too much about the history, but I think that he was a person who did a lot of great things, just not necessarily related to religion or God in any way.
Yeah, I don't think some of the things that are said about him are true, but I think someone in a similar position or idea existed. Yeah.
I think he was real. I don't believe that he's fictional. I do believe that he pronounced good. He was good. He was a symbol of goodness, as many people are, like Mother Teresa. And I believe his acts are righteous. I just don't believe that he was sent by God, or he is our mediator, or like our guide, or a Christian's guide.
Yes.
Yeah. And is your personal opinion similar to how you think other students view him as well? You just view him as a historical figure, or how do you personally view him? Who do you think he was?
I'm not entirely sure of the whole religiously, but historically he was a very important figure that most people do recognize his importance in history, and that he did have an impression on a lot of people.
Do you have the impression that the historical accounts of Jesus have changed over the years? Like the way that people view the history of Jesus, his life, and how they really apply that story?
It does seem, people do seem to have different views over time. They learn new things that seem to change what they think about him.
Yeah, I think so. I think people are more inclined to look for sources other than just the Bible about who Jesus was and what he did.
Okay. All right. Can you elaborate on maybe how you think they might have changed since?
I think we tend to look more for things like factual stuff with like evidence.
Yeah, no, I do know a little bit about the history, but I don't know about the different accounts. I know there's many different versions of the Bible, so no, I don't really know enough to answer that one.
But why do you think the authorities of his day wanted to kill him?
Because of his influence and the people following him. It creates a threat for the foundation of religions in the past.
I know that he was crucified. I don't know what the reasoning was behind it, though.
He just died because he was oppressed by everybody else, so he just stood up for his beliefs, and it's pretty good.
Maybe just conflicting ideologies about things. And
Do you personally think that he rose from the dead? Do you believe in the story of the resurrection and being in the grave for 3 days and that whole story?
Yeah, personally I do, yeah.
No, I don't believe he rose from the dead, and I don't believe there is going to be another coming of Jesus. I think he did his deed in the past. He helped a lot of people, and a lot of people today can work towards his next coming, I feel like, but I think that just gives them faith, a reason to believe. So there's nothing wrong with that idea, I don't think. I just don't think it's real. But that's nothing wrong in believing. That's the whole point of a faith.
Okay.
No.
No.
I do not.
Obviously, if you're a follower, then you believe that he rose from the dead.
Well, there's a certain point I have to admit that I don't believe, or I cannot say I believe, or I cannot say I don't believe.
Where do you think the body is?
I would say that's the embodiment of God instead of like a physical entity.
But I mean, they physically buried him in a tomb, right? And then 3 days later, he was gone. What happened to the body?
I have no idea.
Jesus said that he would return one day. What do you think he meant by that?
Either he would return in somebody else's words or somebody else's ideas, or literally, but I think it's more of an idea kind of sense.
That somebody maybe like him would come again and or be born and then have an impact on people that would be similar. I want to do that.
He would return to reunite the world, and I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about that.
Okay. What I think, what that means is he's already around and helping us to be a better person.
Doesn't say technically he like physically comes back or something, but like in a way like he'll like people will like bring him up or something, and like there will be like a huge thing about him or something maybe, but it's tough really to say exactly what I think.
One day he will return and everyone will see him and realize that he's God.
It does seem, people do seem to have different views over time. They learn new things that seem to change what they think about him.